lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Okay, we're shopping, everybody. Look at this unusual Westmoreland glass little sort of chip and dip set. I haven't seen that before. Typical grapes. They loved sticking grapes on milk glass, didn't they? And it's easy to identify it. It has WG on the bottom for Westmoreland glass. So this was made in the after the war, 50s, 60s. That's unusual, but it's $10, so I probably can only sell it for about $20, so I don't think I'll purchase it. Okay, everyone, I would just like to quickly show you the reason why I decided that I made the personal decision not to buy the Westmoreland piece to resell. I don't buy and sell much milk glass. There are some pieces that have value. There's a lot of milk glass out there and many milk glass collectors. I just simply don't carry very much of it in my store. I'll sometimes buy pieces if they're unusual or if they catch my eye. This particular piece, if we go online, you'll see here, I've gone onto the eBay site. And listen, there are many different ways you can do this. That you can have a subscription to WorthPoint. There are other websites you can go to find out what things have sold for. I am simply quick and easy. We're just going to look at eBay and what has been sold in the last 90 days. So for the last 3 months, what do we get? Now, the difficult thing with this is we don't have a Pete Rose baseball card, okay? We don't have a specific name association with this piece. Some folks might not know that it's Westmoreland glass even though it's labeled on the bottom WG. They might also not know to call it an appetizer. So there could be more hiding in eBay that are just listed differently. Quick and easy, I just put in Westmoreland paneled grape milk glass. Paneled grape is the pattern. We can see that there are currently 2,300, I'm rounding up, 2,300 pieces of paneled grape milk glass currently for sale. We're not going to look through all 2,000, don't worry about that. But a lot of you already know this trick. If we scroll down here on the left, and we click sold items, and it's going to rethink and pop back up, and we see that, okay, only 319 pieces of Westmoreland paneled grape has sold in the last 90 days. And there are currently 2,300 listed, almost 2,000, 400 or something like that. So let's go through these quickly. I'm going to narrow my search once more by going up here to the sort button. And for kicks and jollies, we're going to sort by the highest price. So if I click this, what we've done now is, okay, every single piece that's sold, we are now going to look at them from the very, very highest price to the lowest. And again, we just searched under Westmoreland paneled milk glass. The most expensive thing that sold was a $325 punch set. Okay, this canister set here for $212. Now, we're just going to move pretty fast. By the way, that looks white, but if you look at this description, it's actually light green, which is why it sold for $120. I had this same set of Westmoreland hands that I recently sold for maybe $19 or $20, but that's because it's common in milk glass, but not very common in jadeite. This is an example of a photograph that's not very good because the way the lighting is done, you can barely tell that that's jadeite. So I would have redone that picture if I was that seller, but they still got 120 bucks for it. Okay, what we're doing now is going down until we can find, aha, there it is. Now let's look. This is what I saw in the thrift shop, but what is missing from the item in my thrift store? The ladle. Now that ladle, that milk glass ladle, that's going to add $10, $12, $15 to the value of the piece because those ladles, as you can imagine, are often gone missing. So we can see that this particular set sold for $65. No, there's a line through it, which means someone made an offer. Now, I don't know what that offer is. I can find out, and so can you. There's a website you can go to where you can find out exactly what the best offer was. And I'm not going to go through all of that. I'm not going to do that. But so we know that the price was less than $65. How much less? I don't know, but let's keep looking. Now, you may get dizzy because I'm going to really start flying through here, so I apologize for that. Close your eyes if you have to. I'm zipping through until I find another example of this appetizer set. Now, notice prices are going down because we're moving down as we've sorted these from high to low. And we're not seeing anything yet. And again, all I'm looking for is the appetizer set. I'm not really looking for anything else. And we're already down into the $16, $18, $20. That's not it. Okay, so forget that right there. That's something else. Okay, there's just the underplate, missing the bowl that goes in the center. And that underplate sold for $17. That was a buy it now price. Now remember, the example in the thrift shop was what, $10 with the center bowl, and here we just have the base selling for $17. We're going to keep going. I'm going to wrap this up in a minute, because I've already looked through all of these, and so I can already tell you that there are no more examples here. And if we see there's a second page, I'm not going to go through the second page. I actually already did, and there are no examples. So we're going to go back to the first page, go back up to the top, and let's just go back to this set again. Okay, so here's what I know. A complete set with a ladle, only one has sold for something less than $65. The underplate sold for around $17. I did another search and was able to come up with a few more examples of this particular set. And the prices really do range from $12 to $15 to $22, but nothing that would cause me to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pay $10 for just the underplate and the bowl and sell it, and maybe hope to sell it for $20, $22 by the time I pay eBay fees and so forth. I'm looking at making maybe a $10 profit on it. Now you may say, well, why are you being so greedy? What's wrong with a $10 profit? Well, there's nothing. And you know, when I was in a brick and mortar shop, it's really easy to take an item, run it in, throw a price tag on it, and you're done. But with online selling, time, and remember, time is money in business. Purchasing the item, cleaning it, doing the photographs, doing the listing, it all takes time. Then you have the shipping involved and so forth. And so I have to make quick decisions. Do I want to go through all of that and spend all the time to list that item when I'm probably only going to be making a $10 or a $12 profit on the item? Listen, if it's just a hobby and you enjoy it, that's great. But if you're trying to pay the bills, you have to keep in mind, I need some meat on the bone, and there just wasn't enough. It's not so much that I didn't like the piece. I don't collect milk glass. I'm not a huge fan of it, but that doesn't mean that I won't buy and sell pieces that I like, or pieces that I think I'm going to make enough of a profit off of so that it's actually worth my time to list it. Now, if I was going to buy it to keep it, bring it home and entertain with it, that's a wonderful price. And I'm certain when I go back to the thrift shop, this is going to be gone and it's going to find a new home and someone's going to enjoy it. But for me to buy it and resell it, that's just an item that I decided personally to pass on. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the thrift shop and I'm going to show you some items that I absolutely did not pass on. They wound up in my shopping cart and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so let's go back to the store. Okay, you can get excited, but don't get too excited. It's not what it looks like. It's all reproduction, but it still has some nice value. I did some checking. I know this looks like art pottery from, the arts and crafts era, 1912, something like that, 1905, just after the turn of the century. But this is all made in the early 2000s, and I did a quick check on this one and saw a value. These two are in excellent condition. This one has one tiny little chip, so I'm upset about that because that's actually the best one. But I'm still gonna, excuse me, I'm still gonna purchase it with the chip anyway. So I'm not gonna tell you too much while I'm here in the thrift store. I'm going to wait and get it home, take the price tags off, and then do some more research, and we'll talk about these. But what stood out to me immediately was the matte finish and the color. If this was original arts and crafts pottery made by the great makers of pottery from that era, we would have a cart full of money right here. But still, very nice pieces of reproduction pottery. So we'll see you in the car. Purchase it.
Just around the corner, there's a rainbow in the sky. So let's have another cup of coffee. Let's have another piece of pie. Trouble's just a bubble, and the clouds will soon roll by. So let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another piece of pie. Let a smile be your umbrella, for it's just an April shower. Even John D. Rockefeller is looking for the silver lining. Mr. Herbert Hoover says that now's the time to buy. So let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another piece of pie.
Use Colgate tooth powder, keep smiling just right. Use it each morning and use it at night. Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
Young lady, a question from Colgate Tooth Powder. If you've not been asked to change your name, could a breath of trouble be to blame? You know that little breath of trouble, I mean unpleasing breath, can hamper your popularity, mark you down socially. It's happened to thousands without their knowing. So just do this. Brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate Tooth Powder. For Colgate Tooth Powder cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth. Yes, scientific tests have definitely proved that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate tooth powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. What's more, no dentifrice at any price cleans your teeth more quickly and thoroughly than Colgate tooth powder. Remember to buy it first thing, and remember the name, Colgate tooth powder, with the accent on powder.
Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
So just yesterday I was showing you the German lusterware plates that I bought and how austere they were. And here in comparison are some pretty typical Japanese lusterware plates. Notice the decoration. Now I like these. They're nicely decorated. But if you'll compare this to the plates that I purchased, that I showed you yesterday, there's quite a difference in the amount of decoration. But these are still nice. And this is a nice lusterware teapot, but sadly, we got a problem right there. Not good. Yep. So, no way. And I'm just not interested in these. Although, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Well, let me take another look. Well, let's waste no time. I actually did decide to buy those lusterware plates, and here they are. Turns out, they were half price. So I actually paid about 37 cents per plate. I had to do it. So there are 5 of them, and they are, as I said, Japanese lusterware. I'll give you a better view right here. They're nicely done. And they are good porcelain. They are nice heavy plates like the German. I didn't mean to imply yesterday that that all of the Japanese plates were of less quality. They can be very high quality and just as high quality as the German, but sometimes you want to look at the decoration to see if it's a little hokey pokey, and it can be sometimes very paper thin and delicate. These are nice porcelain plates, and these plates have been used, so there's a little bit of wear. But I like I don't know what they call it in Japan, but where I grew up, that tree was a weeping willow. So it's a weeping willow kind of a tree. And I'll let you see the mark on the back. Well, hold on for a second. I certainly will let you see the mark on the back. Okay, so there's a nice set of 5 of the plates. And typical colors. The nice thing about Japanese lusterware and even the Czechoslovakian and German, a lot of the colors are very similar. And you can mix and match. Now, sadly, that teapot that we saw in black and pink, I liked it. It was Czechoslovakian, but you saw the big chip on the end. That wasn't a flea bite. I mean, that teapot was mugged by fleas. So we had to leave that there. But that's not all. I bought some more, and you're going to see as soon as I get it inside. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.